With your boy Czar, all rights reserved. Yes, there are a few more Kenneka Jenkins people that I can name, and I'm going to name one that I've been watching closely. And as far as his editing review skills, I got to give him credit. Let's shout and put our hands together for someone who is now a related channel, Brad Farhall. That is lowercase BRAD space uppercase Farhall. This gentleman has taken it upon himself that he has many videos he has slowed down and put in place for us to understand in a much deeper way. Now, when I say it like that, I mean like this. He is slowly monitoring the content he does, editing slowly, and showing us the layovers. Yes, layovers are very important when editing. And I can even see a lot of the things he's talking about. Now, I don't know if it's purposely. I don't know if it was done in accident. But a lot of these videos, even the live videos we've seen, have very awkward stuff. And I mean a lot of exposed bodies as far as women doing things, and a lot of different things as real bodies that really make me curious about the scenario. He strongly implicates different things that are visible if you look close enough. So you got to have your thinking caps on. Is he going to be the third one to drive home, aside from the active investigation by 54 Keys and the active investigation by Chaos Sector? Is he going to be the one that throws in the third piece to actually show that their suspicions are credible? Now, another thing, he does very well with the layovers, the edits, and many different things, and showing very curious factors as we examine the information. I have a lot of respect for what it is he's doing, and he's been doing it a while. He took it upon himself to do this even longer than I've been mentioning things. And it really does bring out good factors in earlier content of 54 Keys. Part of the earlier content would be dealing with Zach TV and T Streets. Now, what's very curious too, we know that the video was edited in some way, shape, or fashion, allegedly. Is it plausible that Zach TV was the one that did the edits? I remember earlier on someone's page seeing a video that had Zach TV at the hotel. Was that real? Or was that a cover-up? Now, I'm very, very curious to know it because of the way scenarios is broken down. I believe Brad Farhall is strongly on to a lot of information and a lot of good points as he continues his investigation. I even believe if anyone's going to show or uncover it, it's going to be amongst these three, if not all three of them in unison. That's the very curious thing. One of the best ways to really get through the edits is to find the same software someone was using and to go over it with that same software. That is one of the greatest ways that I can tell someone to examine it. Now, from what I'm understanding, there's deeper motives. And I got this from one of his videos. There was a video. Now, here's what happens. Here's how you got to understand it. What someone would do is do a layover after they shrink and distort what is naturally on the video and discolor it so that it blends into the other things. Whoever did this had some type of skill, but it wasn't to perfection in order to fully cover it up. I don't know whether they were rushing. I don't know whether that's normal, but it didn't cover it up fully. And I was wondering if that is the case, could it have been because of the time frame? And if that's the time frame, why did officers wait 2 days after the reported date to show up to get it? Did they receive a call from someone that it was ready for them? And who did they collect the video from? That's what's curious. Did they do that intentionally, or was it an accident that they forgot to collect the video? Which would be hard because they were actively investigating the case. Now, remember the two specific movies I mentioned, Get Out and Hostel. Get Out. This was a movie that involved a young African-American man that realized that the girl he was after was literally luring African-American men in to be hypnotized and sold off. Could this have been the same thing with females? Not just that they had to be African-American, but females. Let's think a hostel. If the right price was paid, could it allegedly have been possible to do what you want right there, right then? Are there people that don't or do have the money? I'll let you ponder it. If all of this was going on, could there be a particular night where this could occur at any hotel, at any function, at any length? Is it possible? If I knew I was going to get big money for luring people there, would there be a limit? If I was told per person I lure that I would get some type of financial gain? Very curious, very strong. And these are the factors that I think 54 Keys brings out very well without even going into detail. Chaos Sector, does very well in displaying the mentalities and the activities and wandering behind it. Brad Farhall is the in-your-face type of individual with his videos where he blatantly shows you things that make sense. Could this be the three-man dream team to help bring that attention to Kenneka Jenkins? I've already told you about the amazing work 54 Keys and Chaos Sector does. Now I'm telling you, there is a third. There are a few others that are in related channels, like I Have Questions, but these three are on the front line. I Have Questions does a good job too, but I like a lot of what Brad Farhall has done. These people have recently been seen on my related channels. You can go by their channel, check it out if you have in-depth wonders about this specific situation. But I am beginning to see that this could have been an all-out do what you want to do type of situation. From the edits I'm seeing, it's very sick. And what makes me wonder, there's another thing that has been mentioned in my comments. Was there a child there? And if so, where is that child now? Now, we've seen it in a live that it did look to be a child there. Where's that child at now? Because no one I know, relatively to me, has seen this child since that night either. Who else has not been seen since that night either that was allegedly there? That is the question we want to know. Who has also not been seen? Because do you see the ability of rushing the name Kenneka Jenkins into everybody's mind? It almost leads you to look specifically at her. Although she is the star whose picture was released, other people who could have lost their life in that very situation. Is there someone else or something else not shown? Was there someone else that went missing after this event? Who really showed up to it? I can tell you in the edits, I seen a very short man there. Now, I don't know who this is. I don't want to speculate who it looks like either, but it really looks synonymous. And if it looks like who I think, they definitely had the money. If we're going to talk about having money, that's what confuses me. What was actually going on? And I did see a lot. I'm not going to say I saw every single thing. I seen a lot of what Brad Farhall was pointing out. I seen the strangling, the body, the feet he was talking about. I seen the inconsistencies within the video graphics fizzling in and out as different things was happening. What's going on? Why are answers being handed over? Why was the mother escorted out when she was allegedly searching? What was actually going on? Was the kitchen where the free-for-all happening? Think about it. Now, the manager said it himself. It was a closed-off kitchen that was being renovated. Which even crazier is that between the three that I mentioned previous, that kitchen was allegedly being operated on kin of someone who attended this party. The connections are vast. That's what I'm not understanding. And if my memory serves me right, that was I Have a Question or 54 Keys that was showing this. Even at earlier times, what is going on? Is there someone that's going to break this case? Is there someone that's going to step up, narrate properly, and fully take the editing off of these videos we're seeing. That would be amazing. Whose skills are going to pan out? Who's going to finally break through and know for a fact that they bring forward evidence and information that breaks through? This is an underground news story. And you know how I rock. The greatest nation since United Nations. We've been patient. We've been on our grind, working with our minds. All rights reserved.